Hey guys, welcome back to MUFC versus DK. This is game number 2 of just 2, right? This is not best of 3 series. For those of you guys that are not familiar with the Alienware Cup format, this is just a group stage and every match is counting towards points. I am Luminous, more handsome Luminous, which is Blitz.
Thanks for that, Lumi.
No
This is the first time we've actually casted together. I'm really excited.
Yep.
They've tried to keep the Asians apart, but
Nope.
OTP.
Nope. Wow.
Wow,
Let's leave it at that.
Purge is pretty upset now, but MUFC this time, not going to mess around. They're going to pick up the Darkseer off the bat. I'm actually really surprised that DK banned the Wisp.
Yeah, I'm very surprised they have just set their bans at all. Normally, you know, what...
Keep doing what works.
Yeah, keep doing what works, and what worked was banning out both Darkseer and Huntrash Pearl's Void, because I feel like with these two heroes, that's where they're strongest at. They're basically looking to get the exact same lineup that they had against OG China yesterday in their Game 2 victory, which was Darkseer, Void, Queen of Pain, Chen, and Rubik. Yeah, it seems like the lineup they're most comfortable at, and so far it's still available. But Nyx Assassin is a hero that counters Darkseer to me very greatly. Throughout team fights, you get one mana burn on that hero, and he's done. He's either not activating mech or he's not dropping a wall or something like that.
Also, whoever, if you Ion Shell, then you just kind of walk next to that person with
Nyx Assassin's spike.
With the spiked carapace. And DK actually doing the exact same thing as well. They're like, well, it worked for us last game. Burning's a pretty good gyrocopter player. He farms okay.
Yeah. To me, what gyrocopter gives Burning is so much more lane control. In the actual laning phase, he's not as reliant on QQQ or MMY to actually provide that, which they still do a very good job of. But with Flat Cannon, he was able to zone out the Nature's Prophet last game with utmost ease, and he was able to take down Tier 1 tower by himself as well. And not many other heroes like Anti-Mage or your Spectre could do anything similar to that result. Invasion MUFC is going to pick up that Rubik, and I imagine they're going to look towards the Chen, look towards the Void, the Queen of Pain. And for DK, I guess those are targeted heroes to ban them out, or do you feel like there's more dangerous heroes on the map?
No, I think those are good heroes for them to ban out. I think the difficult thing here is that MUFC essentially got, they got canned last game. You know, they got punked pretty hard, but this is a style they know how to play, right? Running the Rubik, running the Darkseer. So I think the thing you do here is you don't do anything crazy. You play to your strengths, try to go back at it, adjust your strategy slightly, and try to win off of that, rather than, you know, doing something crazy like picking like a Bloodseeker, Night Stalker lane or something like that.
It does go through BKB now.
Yeah, and DK actually going to ban out the Void. I really like that decision too, just because a hero like Void, the best thing it can do is that you can isolate the carry off and make his damage just go away instantly with the Chronosphere. All he has to do is target Burning every single time, and it's actually a good hero to play against DK.
I mean, especially the way that they play their Queen of Pain also, which is getting a quick scythe. It forces a carry to have to go to BKB.
Yes.
And that means the Chronosphere counters you that much more. So, we're not going to see that this game, because obviously Void is banned out, and he's such one of those more unique carries that you can't actually replace him in any way, because which other carry has the AoE ult that goes through BKB and stun? But Kunga's going to get taken out here by MUFC. And yeah, I just don't see how MUFC is going to out-carry DK, out-carry Gyrocopter, out-carry Burning. So they gotta do the early aggression. That was Winter's plan, at least walking into today. Game 1, they failed to execute it. Game 2, well, let's see how they're gonna at least try to execute it. Because again, I think they're gonna stick to that game plan, right? You're not gonna out-carry Burning.
Yeah. It seems like DK, every single time I cast them, they pick the Gyrocopter in the first 2, every single time. It's one of those carries that is so versatile. I mean, if you get a Manta against him, Gyro's useful because of the call down and the flak and the rocket barrage. If you get BKBs, the physical damage from the flak still exists, right?
And
you
the
still
slow
get hit
from
by
the call down.
Exactly. And on top of that, he's one of those heroes too that if you get... So he stops both those items, and there's no positioning necessary with him too. As long as he's kind of in range of people, you just flak, hit, ta-da.
Easy mode.
Success, exactly.
And to me, it's also the laning. We saw him go offensive last game, was able to easily dominate lane. Defensive, exact same thing. so many versatile mid-game item builds. We see different things like Shadow Blade, we see BKB, we see MKB. We even saw Helm last game, which is not something we talked about too much, but I felt it was a very nice way to deal with Chen, because you get instant creep in the team fight if that's what you want. He was using it mostly for stacking, which is, you know, another way to accelerate your own farm. But, you know, I imagine he's going to have another big game, but Winter is just going through the motions. He's picking all the heroes that they know they want. Chen is in the pool as well, but look at this long-range barrage that's going to be coming out from DK. Fissure coming out from 1300 range, and of course Illuminate is 1600 range. The hell are you going to do? Like, even heroes like Queen of Pain could easily just get initiated upon by Fissure call down Illuminate, and she's dead.
Yep, I really like the way that DK plays Earthshaker. They use him as kind of the anti-initiate. As soon as anyone goes on DK Burning, they, I don't know why I said DK Burning, I can just say Burning. The Earthshaker just kind of counter-initiates with the stun,
right?
And you can do it from such a long distance off. And then once you do that, the Queen of Pain blinks in to try to initiate on Gyrocopter, then Earthshaker leads with Fissure, then you rocket barrage him to death. It's just so difficult for the Queen of Pain to succeed against a hero like Gyrocopter. It's actually one of those really annoying matchups, because if you offensively blink, it essentially means you're dead.
Yep.
Especially against heroes like Nyx, where the mana burn does so much.
Or the Spike Carapace, if you're firing off some AoE spells, you're going to be dead as well. So Enchantress instead of Chen. So this might be an adjustment from game number 1, where Chen was only able to do so much with the 1 creep, and Enchantress, you could in theory grab 3 creeps right at level 1 and make something happen. Now the big question is, can you make something happen against one of the best level 1 defensive hero in the entire game, Earthshaker? And I'm not sure.
It's really difficult. It's going to depend on who DK decides to put in that long lane, because if they can get the pressure going as soon as possible, then they might actually have a lot of success in this lineup.
Any reason not to go Clock here for DK? Decent against Enchantress creeps early?
Yeah, it's decent against Enchant. It actually does really well against Darkseer, right?
Right.
You can just kind of isolate him off.
Oh, there's a final ban out from MUFC.
Okay, so it is going to be the Clockwork.
And
Nature's Prophet. Yep.
Interesting. I reckon he's actually quite weak, I want to say, against this particular lineup. They could easily blow him up early. Enchantress creep, if you find the correct one, could cancel those TPs. Any reason why you would go Nature's Prophet here?
I think it was kind of the best of a worst situation. Think about the long lane heroes that really succeed right now, right? I mean, you can do Lifestealer. He's pretty successful.
Banned out.
Yeah, Darkseer, which is taken. There's Batrider. There's Clockwork. So who else is kind of left in the pool for DK to go for?
Yeah, Windrunner is not just a successful hero anymore. I mean, you just quote-unquote laner there, but she's not going to get anything done.
Yeah. As soon as she windruns, the reason why heroes like Rubik and Shadow Demon got really popular was because as soon as you pop something like your defensive ability, then you have an instant
windrun, and then you lift her up.
You have an instant disable.
Well, Weaver is a hero that we somewhat forgot. Yeah, so maybe that could have been the long lane for DK, but instead it's going to get selected by Hontrash Pro here for MUFC. How does Weaver be added to the mix? I'm not even sure whether you want to go for the Weaver. Lincoln Sphere might be a forced out item coming out from MUFC, but if you don't have the Lincoln Sphere, Fissure from long range, you're dead, right? Or close to it, because if they layer their stuns and nukes properly, they have enough burst damage to take him down.
Yeah. The scary thing right now for the Weaver is that if Darkseer doesn't have a good start and gets a mech soon, you're going to get blown up in every single fight. Even with Strength Shards, you're only rocking around 700 HP. Burning alone will just, with the Flak Cannon, take you down so low.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with Fissure in the game, it's really difficult to kind of play that Weaver style you want, where you want to flit in and out, kind of just come into the fight, go out. It's a scary thing, Lumi.
It is a scary.
So spooky.
When you're going in with Burning and seeing him what he did in game number 1, it's definitely a scary thing indeed. Burning, it's going to be playing Gyrocopter in this particular game as well. QQQ on that Earthshaker that he's so famously known for. MM1 is going to be on the Keeper of Light. Super going solo mid Nyx Assassin. This is something that we really haven't talked about. You know, our TK maybe going to off lane, maybe starting in the jungle. You kind of could go both ways with this build. It seems like he's jungling.
He's definitely jungling.
Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, he realizes at bottom, it's going to be difficult, especially since 5 heroes are going to rotate here if you send the Treants in. So I think if you start bottom, you don't get anything done, and then you go back to the jungle, you don't actually get a whole lot accomplished. So it's just better in general for you to kind of be safer, right?
Yep. So I mean, I think even in a 1v1 matchup, Weaver could do quite okay, especially if Weaver gets like a level early like a early level advantage, which he's definitely going to get on the safe lane. Enchantress is going to be able to stay in the jungle and farm all days if that's what you want. One thing that they do have to be somewhat watching out for is when the tier 1 tower push, both Nature's Prophet and probably another support should come and sap the EXP, whether it's in the Keeper, Light, or Earthshaker, which I definitely think they could do.
You want to introduce the lineups, Lumi?
Sure.
We're doing this? Alright, this time I'll do DK because...
Well, I already introduced the DK if you were listening to me, but
Did you really?
that's okay.
When did that happen?
I'm used to casting with LD, which I talk and you don't
It just
listen
kind of oh my
Yeah.
god, I think it was when Kevin came up.
and distracted you.
Yeah, and I just completely... Okay, that was definitely what it was. So Winner's going to be playing that Rubik, which I seem to see him every single game on. Ling going to be playing Enchantress. Weaver being played by Han Trash Player. Darkseer going to be picked up by TFG. That's a signature hero. And Queen of Pain. I've actually seen this guy play Queen of Pain 4 games in a row now.
And nothing else.
And is FC. At some point, it's a fun hero to play, but you have to kind of think to yourself, what is enough, Lumi?
Apparently, 4 games is not enough just yet. I mean, FC, he's a decent Queen of Pain player. He always makes the right call, and sometimes you make a poor blink and get killed, but for the most part, he's not a bad Queen of Pain player by any stretch of imagination.
Oh no, I completely agree, but
Yeah.
he's become the Admiral Bulldog of competitive gaming. If I only see him on Queen of Pain, I'll lose my mind.
Well, hopefully he's going to give us some puck, give us some storms, maybe a little bit later on, but we're not going to see him play anything else today because this is only the last MUFC match, and he is going to be up against the Nyx Assassin in the mid lane. Give us the lowdown on how this matchup works. I want to say he really limits Queen of Pain's effectiveness in this particular lane because Queen of Pain's lane is not going to have an easier time ganking into any other lane if you have no mana at all, and that's what Nyx Assassin is going to try to do.
But at the same time, Nyx is going to have an awful time.
Right.
Queen of Pain, theoretically, actually almost the majority of the mids, I mean, even if I play a hero like Storm, you should be able to win against the Nyx pretty handily, right? Because the mana burn cooldown is quite long. On top of that, it does cost... You have a really low mana pool. You can't come within melee range to CS very easily. And if you go that mana burn early, that means you're not being able to use stun to CS at all.
Right,
Your base damage is actually kind of crap, too.
Yeah, we also, like yesterday, we saw somebody actually get a Wraith ban on Nyx Assassin and was trying to, get some last hit slash kind of deny going on. But look at this level 1 smoke ant coming out. So this is what we didn't see out of game 1. In fact, it's 2 creeps, 2 heroes coming right out for Super. Super does not have Spike Carapace or mana for that Impale. And, oh, I think he's dead right here. It's going to be a net to start out with, a clap. And can he get in range for a lift? He definitely can. Queen of Pain, is he going to get the kill? They're trying to give him the kill. But Enchantress, unfortunately, forced to secure that one for the team. And that's not a bad start, even though Enchantress got the kill. It's going to be like quick arcane boost. In fact, he's going for her. Look at how offensive they want to play. This is the way they got to start the game, and well, they're doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Nature's Prophet actually going to TP down for this room. ROTK does pick it up. He's had an okay time. He is level 2, but at the same time, look at Burning and MMY and QQQ at top. They're actually just going to take another tower for him. Burning doesn't miss towers. It's so scary.
Yeah, I mean, it was scarier in the previous patch where the last hit on the tower gave you more gold, right? In the patch change, it gave you like 100 or 200 less gold when you last hit the tower. But it doesn't matter. What do you think about DK's decision to pressure so quick and so fast and so hard on tier 2 towers? We don't see 2-minute tower pushes anymore at all. It used to be a constant thing, right? Now, it's well, at least in this game, making a comeback. What do you think about this?
It makes it so that Burning can't farm as easily, but at the same time, if he decides to go for that quick Helm of Dawn build, he can just kind of stack the
You could just jungle.
the neutrals. Yeah, exactly. And at the same time, you're giving your mid and your long laner such a huge advantage, just because ROTK will get so much free gold. And look, he's got a Ring of Basilius, and if he opts to get a Hand of Midas, he's not that far off it anymore. He's only about 1,000 gold away, and if they get this tier 2 tower, he's only going to be about 700 gold off. And on top of that, your mid lane is going to have a huge advantage. I mean, he's got boots in a bottle, and he got first blooded.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like this is a decision being made saying that, hey guys, our mid is somewhat getting a matchup disadvantage, he's getting ganked from the jungle Enchantress, let's get some pressure up top and let's make something happen there, draw the attention there, and hopefully that's going to give Super a slight edge in terms of the mid lane, because so far in a straight 1v1 matchup, FZ is handling to him. He's 1 level ahead. Nice mana burn though, taking FZ's mana away.
QQQ actually setting up, doesn't really look like he can do much, but It is a pretty conscious decision by DK to do that. I mean, it effectively makes the mid lane kind of a wash in terms of farm. I mean, it's artificial, but Super does have the equivalent farm as the Queen of Pain does.
Well, he's still doing his best bottle curling, and burning now, getting the quickly back on the top lane, and we'll see what item he has actually gone for. He has upgraded the Ring of Basilius, so we're not going to see a quick Midas of any sort, which I'm a little bit somewhat sad because I want to see a big 1,000 gold GPM. Not gonna see it this game, or at least not the rate that it's
Oh, they
so
have
far.
the Harpy Storm. Look at all the creeps it's killing.
That's all the creeps that Weaver isn't getting, but looks like they want to get a little bit of tower push on their own on the bottom. RTK doing his best. Glyph is already being forced out. Does Burning have a teleport scroll? That's the big question. He's not even level 6 either, so never mind. They're just gonna come in from afar. There is a little bit of tower defense going on, but I think they're gonna get a rebuttal tower kill. So Weaver also gets a last hit. Still at parity coming out here from MUFC, but they do lead by a tiny bit of goal, I imagine, because of the first blood, and they do 1,000 goal lead.
Yeah, on top of that, Han Trash Player is actually out farming Burning. That's not something you see every day where Burning's actually getting out farmed. And in general, it seems like this game is kind of favoring MUFC. The supports even have a lot of CS. Rubik has 9 at 5 minutes, which is, it doesn't seem like a lot, but for a support Rubik, that's actually pretty insane. The Enchantress is doing quite well for herself. Darkseer is able to kind of, I wouldn't say free farm, but he can safely farm.
Yeah, he could get some EXP, he could get some gold. He's definitely doing better than our Nature's Prophet counterpart, right? And obviously the Enchantress is doing a lot better because she's, she started in the jungle for a bit. And of course, Burning forced to miss a couple of last hits because they were pushing the tower, not only the tier 1, but also pressuring the tier 2 very heavily. So, despite everything, it's MUFC that's having a slight edge in this game, and they're doing quite okay.
Yeah, and this is the kind of pace that they want to play at. I like the fact that they're not trying to force anything again with the Enchantress. I think what really hurt them with the Chen last game is they decided, okay, this is our lineup, we have to just go, 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 and they were trying to force things too much. And that's kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of play style, where if you do that, then your jungler doesn't really have anything to farm.
Right.
And if you get behind early with the jungler, it gets progressively harder to come back.
I mean, do you feel that the way that, for example, Ling was playing this game, maybe it's better if he was on Chen? You're going to have a very, very quick level 6, and then you could basically push to whenever you want? Or do you feel like they actually need the damage because Weaver's not exactly one of the high damage carries, so having an Enchantress chucking out some impedance throughout the team fight might be better than the extra heal?
I think the way he's playing right now, just kind of farming out, is the best way to play at the moment. Just because, where else are you going to force a gank at this point? I mean, QQQ is essentially sitting in mid for Super Net. Looks like they might want to go.
Yeah, the way they started it, they could have been dead to start out. I'm not sure whether they have enough damage, and Luminate's going to come in, but it's just not enough. If he spiked Carapace, he could have got the kill there, I think, if he spiked at the right time. Super actually a little bit trapped, and he's just still saving on that spike. Maybe even baiting FCFZ to blink in, but FCFZ survived the gank, and he wasn't going to go anything. Also, FCFZ doesn't actually have ultimate just yet.
No, opting to go that 2 Shadow Strike build, which I'm actually a pretty big fan of against a hero like Nyx. You can just kind of force him out, and it's really mana efficient as well. Because for 100 mana, you're doing 75 damage over 15 seconds after every 3 seconds.
I'm personally not as big of a fan of a level 2 Shadow Strike build after the patch change because you get your level 11 a lot quicker, but conversely you get your level 12 a little bit slower, adjusted for it. And because of that, you don't actually get level 4 Blink until much, much later in the game. And sometimes you just miss a kill or sometimes you die more often as a result. I like my max Blinks, but that's just a personal preference. And, well, at least for this game, he's going to be kind of working with level 3 Blink for quite a long while.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those lane control builds where you want to force the Nyx out, especially since you're not. When will you ever have mana to scream and ult at level 7 against a Nyx?
Right, which is double damage is going to get secure back up on the top lane here. Yeah, they're playing it very passive, but this is the time to kind of level up a little bit, get some more kind of key item. Link started out with the Urn. That made me want to say that she's going to be making a little bit more ganks, but for the most part, she isn't. TFG another time getting himself into trouble, and this is the second time that he's teleported back home deep in enemy territory. And for one, he's actually drawing a ton of attention up top, so his allies could get farmed safely. But at the same time, you talked about how important it was for him to get the quick mech, and he's not even getting close to that quick mech.
No, and Enchantress actually isn't going to get it at all. She's opting to go for the drums, that early game build. She actually is quite decently farmed. Almost has drums plus an urn on a hero like Enchantress. He's doing quite well for himself, but at the same time, it means that Winter is going to be poor.
Winter is playing the the heavy 5 role that he usually always plays, and he still sometimes or somehow still does okay with it. So,
yeah, I'm
far,
surprised
so
he has boots and a stick.
I mean, that tier 1 tower push definitely very helpful. The fact that he was able to participate in that first blood, got the assist goal on that one, so that helps as well. But let's talk about Hontrash player. He's gone for Treads and then Medallion. What's your thoughts on that?
That's kind of the early game Weaver build. It's designated for we want to take fights early, and I'm actually really agreeing with that kind of build right now because ROTK, instead of getting an item like Mech, decides to play a little greedier and picks up that Hand of Midas. So the shorter this game goes, the better for MUFC in general. And that negative armor, it does work early game, especially on supports. The Keeper of the Light without boots is just going to get run down every single team fight.
Or even with boots. I mean,
yeah,
eventually
exactly.
Weaver's going to chase you down. So I feel like the pace of this game right now, it's very deceptive. DK saying, hey guys, it's slow, we'll get to farm, let's get our Midas going, let's get, for example, Burning somewhat farm. He's going to be going BKB. But at the same time, I feel like if MUFC wants to turn on the aggression, they could do it anytime they want. And in fact, it's going to start on the top lane, perhaps with a gank against Burning. He doesn't see this one coming. If you get lift, yes, surge into a lift, toss him back. You got to get the slow, you got to get the clap to get everything going. Burning drops the call down, but it's a kill going their way. Here comes a TP from RTK, but TFG, he is too fucking good. You're not going to get a kill against him. Everybody TP out. Somewhat expensive, the fact that that was 3 TP scroll down the drain, but they got Burning and they forced out a couple of TPs themselves and
nobody died.
Nobody died. Everything's at parity. FC even rotating up top. And now he's going to go back to the mid lane and get even more farm.
What I like most about that gank too is that it wasn't forced. I feel like when I watch MUFC play really well, they don't force anything.
It was efficient game.
Yeah, exactly. They do this thing where they commit enough heroes, just enough to get kills, and then they get out. And that's the kind of MUFC that succeeds, the one that succeeded against LGD, where they let things happen naturally, rather than trying to force things.
To me, it's also very important when you're making these kind of early game smoke ganks to show 1 or 2 heroes. For example, they were showing Queen of Pain mid lane just farming. It's very important because a caliber of Burning of his player, like if he sees 5 heroes off the map during Nightfall, 10 minutes in, he's like, well, something's up here. I'm gonna just miss that wave and then just go back to save the tower. But the fact that you only make a 3-man gang, not only is it more efficient in terms of not losing out farm time, it's also more efficient because the success rate of that gang is actually higher.
Yeah, if you 4 or 5-man smoke gank this early in the game, it's gonna have a pretty low success rate. I mean, how many times do you see something like that happen and it actually work? If all heroes on the map go missing like that, then it's like, oh well, something is clearly up. 3-man ganks like this are by far the most efficient.
And again, look at exactly what they're doing on the bot lane here. They got to Surge Winter in one more time, but Darkseer is nowhere near, so I'm not sure how he's going to get in range of that lift, but they're going to try.
Burning did use his phase boots right now. That's going to be the signal to go.
No, Weaver coming in right now, and he turns around to drop the call down. That might be the death of him. He's not going to do enough damage where it matters. Nice time walk back here. Super's going to get 1 impale off. Here comes ROTK. Oh, nice route 4 here. Winter tangles a wrong tree. No, he doesn't have tangle at all. They do actually get 1 kill as he returns. Hontrash player, you talked about the early game build. Medallion propping every single kill that he's got. And here comes FZ. No spike coming out. And that's 4 kills in a row? Or is it just 3? Is that a manner pause? No, it wasn't. It was Winter dropping. And wow. That was a beautiful fight.
Yeah, and on top of that, Winter's going to grab level 7. He's 11 XP from level 8. Oh my god, that went so well for them. 2,500 gold right now on Hontrash player. On top of his Medallion, Treads, Ring of Bassi, a Magic Stick. Just the issue right now for DK is they have nothing to stop him. If the fissure, what he did is he just waited for the fissure, he baited it out, waited, and then he just goes in, and at that point, what's going to hit him?
Impale has a fairly long cooldown.
Exactly, and he
Fissure has a long ass cooldown, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing for me was Medallion was procced every time it came off cooldown. It has 1,000 range in the new patch buff, and he was just going in and out team fight with Sakuchi and whatnot. And Swarm actually was doing quite a bit of work as well. So
it's one of those spells too against support heroes. It's the longer you leave Swarm on, the better it does. And at the same point, it's difficult for a support hero early to kind of get away from it and spend that time attacking it.
You're not going to have the time to attack it.
So while you do that, then the Weaver just hits on you, and then you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right. So now 6-1 in the favor of MUFC. They just got their triple kill on their 1-row Weaver. Gold chart now swinging hugely upward in the favor of MUFC. Can they even push and pressure that tier 2 tower? I think they could stay for a bit and maybe damage it. I don't think they'll bring it down though, because the respawn time for DK is actually quite low.
Yeah, but at the same time, the big thing about this is that they killed Burning.
Again,
And they're going to take some damage on this tower as well. That gank was so smart. Burning thought to himself, okay, I'm phase boosting. I should be 100% fine.
Right.
Oh, and mid. I think MMO might actually be dead here.
Yeah,
that is a level 2 Shadow Strike too.
Yep, one more hit's gonna do the job. Maybe there you go. Very, very kind of max range screen being used by FCFZ. Knowing this, well, he has played 4 games in a row. He knows the range of this hero by heart, and very nicely done. Picks up yet another solo kill. Now Queen of Pain up to level 11. We talked about how his level 12 might come a little bit later than usual. It's not gonna come late this game because he's getting a ton of work done. And is it gonna be? No, I was gonna say, is it gonna be a quick scythe? He goes straight for BKB. Don't want to mess around. Respects the constant nuke. The chain stun that's possible on DK, and you know, takes it away right from DK.
You know what the scary thing is? I have no idea how how MMY managed to farm out all these items.
Yeah,
Like I remember thinking to myself, wow, that guy has nothing, and then 12
out of
minutes.
nowhere.
Yeah,
Did he
out
have
of nowhere.
a big stack in the jungle somewhere?
I guess, because it's kind of crazy that now he's about 400 gold. If he didn't die there, he would have been like 200 gold away from a mech.
Yeah, he definitely went for one of the more max farming build, because if you go for a more normal build on a Keeper of Light, you actually get your Spear form at level 6. But he just went for full chakra, full illuminate, and he's even still increased from ROTK.
What a player!
What a player! I mean, that's how he's
ROTK is
getting
actually getting pretty good farm too this game. At this point, he has the equivalent of farm plus 2k gold of what was it FTG had?
Or TFG.
TFG. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
last
always
game.
messed that up. But so TFG actually is seems like the poorest guy in the world right now. He's got a bottle and 1200 gold.
I mean, TFG was able to do a lot of distractionary work on the top lane. Maybe,
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe that's what slowed the farming. Why is he always in these awkward positions? The fish is actually gonna block. Oh, does he have a teleport to go?
He has an
question.
invis rune.
He
He
does
should
have
be
an
fine.
invis. Are we teleporting it with a little bit of dust? A little bit of dust exchange. Sentry's gonna get dropped in TFG. Do they have another sentry? That's the big question. No. He's fine. Yep.
He's just gonna kind of waste some more time. That's what he's been doing all game. He hasn't had the biggest farm or impact in terms of farm,
Is
but
he gonna go for the Doug life kill here?
no, there's no way.
No. Okay.
But he does pressure out top, and he drags everyone up, allowing MUFC to kind of set up for bottom and mid.
Contrast pro. Oh my god, RT gets teleporting right in the medallion swarm. I think they're gonna get a kill very easily. He's gonna go for it. Is there a Spirit Form blind? There isn't. A Sprout trying to do a little bit of block, and MMY says, dude, if you die here, I'm also dead. And Contrast player says, yes. Is he gonna go for it? Yes, he fracking will. He does have time lapse. Uh-oh, he will time lapse back with the Mono Burn, the Fissure, the Impale. Contrast player has overstayed his welcome, has gave away a 4-streak kill. That's 150 gold towards somebody's pocket, but meanwhile, tier 2 push coming out of the mid lane.
Yeah, they actually did a lot of damage to the mid tower and the bottom tower. I mean, I thought for a second he was going to get the Keeper of the Light killed.
Right.
When he was like, take him instead of me.
Maybe that's a valid tactic, I guess, but there's a buckler up on the Keeper, and I think he just kind of forgot momentarily that there is an Earthshaker on the map, and you're not going to make it out of base alive if you dive that deep, and that's kind of what happened. I guess I gave TFG some farm, and he's not too far off to that mech if he doesn't die here, and in fact, I think he will die. TFG continuing to be the saddest player on this game. Well, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, he's had quite a bit of tough time. Burning actually going for that less greedy build, just going to pick up a BKB, try to get his damage off this game, which I 100% agree with, but at the same time, Han Trash player going for that all negative armor build. He's got 2 Mithril Hammers right now. It actually does work, getting the Desolator.
Yeah, in Dota 1 it didn't because of Gemini being an orb, but Dota 2, everything stacks a lot more nicely.
Isn't it the second hit doesn't work for Deso?
Right, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly,
Your
because you
first
get
hit
the first
applies,
hit off.
yeah. So it's actually, I believe Fnatic Era was the first player that I've seen kind of popularize this build. It made complete sense, but in any case, here comes a tier 1 pressure coming out from DK, and I do believe they're going to at least do a little bit of nice damage on this tower, but here comes the rotation of MUFC.
Yeah, MUFC smartly just kind of waiting in the trees, waiting for an overextension here. Burning's actually committed to this fight too. He's got a BKB though. Starting the fight though at minus 250 HP is a little scary. There is a mech now on MMY. QQQ has absolutely no farm. And Super is kind of far away from that Blink Dagger that I think he wants to get. And I think FZFZ is going to have a BKB soon as well.
Yeah, double, at least double BKB in the game. I actually think QQ has decent farm, right? He has boots. He's almost up to Arcane. On an Earthshaker that's kind of been roaming around, sitting mid lane and helping out Nyx Assassin. It's not like the best farm, but it's not too bad. Mid lane Super is going to get Impel. We're seeing Impel the Surge. Not going to bring out the Fidge is going to follow up. The Luminous is going to follow through as well, but he's tanky enough. He's going to walk in for the Echo Slam. Nothing just yet. It looks like he's actually blocking out Super by just a tiny bit. It's going to be a full-on retreat for MUFC, or full-on retreat for DK. The Swarm is going to grab everybody. The lift is going to be right there. Toss him back, and the Desolator damage, but it's a BKB. It's a call down. That's 2 kills so far. They're looking for a little bit more. RTK looking for that Sprout, and I think he's going to find it against Link, who's trying to run away. Gallop away, Horsey. Or was it a deer? Whatever it's called, but here comes a rotation of FZ, but a single stun, like you said, if you use that blink offensively, you're just dead. DK Burning's gonna die to that level 2 Shadow Strike, but it's a full-on team wipe. My god, DK, I'm not sure how they won that team fight, but look at all these item progression coming out eventually. It's gonna be Super picking up that blink that you said he wasn't gonna get, and he wins the team fight and gets it right now. And also a tier 1 tower last hit for him as well.
Yeah, and ROTK at the same token, he's gonna get treads and a Shadow Blade.
Wow.
So his right-click damage potential is gonna be so high. I mean, this game is just scary for MUFC. If the Queen of Pain right there had a BKB, she would have been able to live and I think done a little bit more that fight. But comes in a little too late, farming that BKB out. And then they got 4-man call down, rocket barrage, flat cannon by Burning.
Was that the kind of what broke the camel's back there in that team fight?
Yeah, getting hit, everyone getting hit by a call down like that, you can't do that. It just does too much damage. The Enchantress heal was popped in the beginning of the fight to try to play offensively on that Earthshaker. And then from there on, they had nothing to kind of stop the damage from coming out of Burning. And Burning just got so much utility out of that. Last game, he opted to go stats instead of Rocket Barrage. But this game, opting to go for that Rocket Barrage, which did so much. I think he did that last game just because he knew he was going to get the Shadow Blade, so he wanted a bit more stats. But this game, it's not too necessary, considering he rushed the BKB. Oh, and FCFC going to pop that BKB off the bat. Yeah. That's actually huge.
That's a 10-second BKB that's going to be on cooldown for quite a bit, and I think DK recognized as well, so they would take this advantage and pressure the bot lane a little bit. Also, the big thing for me, that team fight, I'll say there's a rocket going to drive entire MUFC off, and they're going to get a tier 1 tower for free. Is that Ling has opted for Bracer into Robe and decides not to fully complete a Drums. I think Drums is actually deceptively powerful against a call down from a Gyrocopter, and I think they could have used every bit of movement speed in that last engagement.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, Burning going to pick up he's got 1,900 gold. This guy somehow just gets money.
Yeah. I mean, he got ganked twice in a row, but he also got some kills in that last team fight before he died. And more importantly, he's been getting these tower last hits. So, you know,
I think they might actually be spotted out by DK. They did walk by a Sentry Ward, and MMY.
Oh, this could be bad. Well, it doesn't, because QQ is going to get lifted up. Can you burst him down? That's a big question. He does drop off the Fissure, but the nuke damage is going to bring him down. And MMY, well, the Blinding Light's helping a little bit, but is it going to be helping enough? Probably not. The mech's going to get popped a little bit late, but, well, that's double kill on the 2 supports. What are the other players doing at the meantime? Are they getting anything meaningful done? Really.
TFG almost going to get a mech, and that's actually going to be huge. Once you get an item like mech on a Darkseer, it's kind of the signal to start fighting. I
mean, the fight's already ongoing. Maybe MUFC fighting a little bit earlier than they should because of the lack of med. Generally, a med gets done on the well-farmed Darkseer around 12-13 minute mark. But the fact that they're getting so many more tower, it doesn't really matter. Blink, oh, nice really to kind of destroy everything. The Fissure gets stolen, and now the Fissure backward. Here comes Queen of Pain doing all sorts of work against Super, but a double damage Vendetta hit, and again, a Queen of Pain that uses Blink offensively is just dead, BKB or not.
Yeah, it's one of the scary things about playing against a hero like Gyrocopter. If you get a BKB first, well, the right click still does enough damage.
I think they're going to go straight into the Roshan pit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super just took him down from like half HP and just killed him. With the level 2 Vendetta.
How do you feel about the pace of this game where you have teams kind of exchanging team fights back and forth, but if you look at the go chart, it's a steady decline going in the favor of DK. I gotta remind everybody, this game started 6-1 in the favor of MUFC, with the first blood going their way, and with Huntrash probably farming better than Burning, and you know, that triple kill on the bottom for him. He got the early Desolator, but maybe the early Desolator was kind of a poor item decision. It looked great at the time because they were winning, but he's not survivable enough to withstand Fissure, Call Down, as well as Illuminate and Impale and all these kind of big damaging nukes. Maybe he should have gone Midas into, or not Midas, Medallion into BKB.
Yeah, or Manta even.
Sure.
Just some sort of
Any
defensive
HP item. Yeah.
Exactly. It was just a little too greedy picking up Pedesso as well. He just doesn't have the survivability, and this means that Super can essentially just one-shot him by himself.
I mean, they're getting kills against DK, burning at sometimes in these team fights, but I'm just not sure whether it's enough. And now Burning will get himself a helm as well as an Aegis, so he's going to be a lot more survivable in these team fights. And can MUFC still win these team fights? They have the BKB on Queen of Pain, but at this point in the game, you really want your wall to be a big part of it. And right now, we just have level 1 wall on Darkseer. He's got the vacuum max. He still doesn't have that mech delivered to him.
Oh, they're going to go in on Burning.
And Burning's going to get nice vacuum wall on top. Burning's going to be low. He's not popping his BKB just yet. He does pop it. I was going to say he's going to pop it a little bit late because they have the Aegis, but he's going to just go to work. Call down is going to hit multiple target. Here comes FC blinking right in, but they want Contrash Pro instead. Nice chain sense so far. They are going to burst him down. Burning finally dies here. FC in the middle of everything, out of mana at this point here. Super just going right in. He's going to get lifted. He's going to get... Oh, he's still somehow alive thanks to the Ghost Scepter, but it's not going to be enough. ROTK going to get burst down as well, but Burning back to full HP. He's just in the middle and thick of things. ROTK buys back as well, and I do believe they will outlast the entire MUFC team, and they were going to get a tier 2 tower. Not exactly what they had in mind in terms of using their Aegis. We probably want to get a Rax off of it, but still a very well-worthy trade. You get a BKB charge off Queen and Pain. You get a kill on Weaver, who's been dying every single... He was 4-0 in like 6, and now he's 4-3 in 6. And Darkseer, to me, has had very few low-impact fights in this game.
Yeah, definitely. He actually hasn't been able to do too much, and ROTK... He buys back, and he's still got 4k gold right now. Like, that's actually insane how well he's farming right now. Once he gets a Hex, I don't actually know what they're going to do. ROTK just going to back up at top really smartly. I think what's really hurt MUFC this game is, as I was talking about what they were doing right, was that they were letting everything happen organically, right?
Right.
Nothing felt forced. But after that engagement mid, it seemed like they just kind of overextended and they got over-eager. And then Burning hit that 4-man call-down flak. And... that all happened just because they went all out for an Earthshaker.
Yeah, and that was the definition of forcing a fight, when you're chasing your CMs, your keepers, your Earthshakers for a kill, and getting team wipe as a result. I mean, to be fair to them, they were leading so heavily at that point, but this is something that Winter always said, when you're leading heavily, this is also the time that you kind of make some big mistakes and give the enemy team an avenue of comeback. A 4-man smoke coming out from DK. Let's see if they get this kill on Weaver, but he's definitely one of the most difficult hero to kill, and I don't think they'll find him there.
Yeah. The biggest playstyle difference between the two teams as well is that MUFC seems to play to win, and DK kind of just seems to play not to lose.
Right.
They're thinking to themselves, well, if we get to the late game, we have the best late game player.
Right.
So let's just not mess it up prior to that.
And
so
generally when you play not to lose, that's not the mindset that wins game, but for DK, it works out so well for them.
They assume, right, that they have Burning, like, oh, well, we have B-God. So no matter what happens, he'll just kind of save us. Papa B-God.
Both smoke kind of canceling each other out, but we do see high ground. There's a big wall vacuum. That's what you want to see out of your Darkseer. They want to focus on QQQ, and he is going to get brought down, but Burning in the middle fight just yet. A very cluster fight. Time lapse backward for Han Trash player. He's walking back out, and everybody disengaged. Was there a buyback coming out? I do believe one person died already. Was it a buyback?
No.
No? It was just a one for nothing trade.
Yeah, and that was actually a really good BKB by the Queen of Pain. That's how she wants to use it. Just kind of keep your distance from the right-click heroes. ROTK pulling a Jules and saving as much money as he possibly can. He's got 5,300 gold.
Or maybe
I'd like to know, there's absolutely no reason to do this.
Or maybe a Mushi, as someone call it.
They're just like, I mean, I guess he's kind of indecisive about what he wants to buy, whether he wants to go damage. I think he should go for an item like Hex here.
I say Ultimate Orb is just fine, right?
Yeah, I mean...
if you want to go damage, Manta Style is a fine, decent item choice that it's off of Ultimate Orb.
Maybe he gets an MKB here as well if he thinks he's sufficiently ahead. But I think a Hex here in a situation like this is going to be the best overall item you could get. Especially with the Shadow Blade, you can just instantly initiate on a hero like Queen of Pain before she gets her BKB off.
Yep.
Burning does the right-click damage, you know, yada yada yada, fight ends. So he does pick up an Ultimate Orb. That's usually the natural item progression.
I mean, at this point, when Queen of Pain's BKB is down to what, 6 seconds? Yeah, it's low enough where your Cypher Vice starts to become a lot more effective.
Yes,
So
definitely.
I think Cypher Vice probably does even more effective damage output for your team than any single damage item he picks up, and he finishes the Cypher Vice.
Yeah, he's got 700 gold on top of that too. Is he doing better than Burning? I think he might actually in terms of
The net worth, yeah, he's leading by 100 gold over Burning. So
he's had a fantastic game this game, ROTK, and Burning actually picks up an MKB. That's his big damage item. I know a lot of players go for that the standard butterfly over the MKB, but I've been saying that I think the damage output just feels a little better on MKB. Plus the true shot is really big, so if you fight a fight downhill with flat cannon, no matter what, you're going to be effective. I'm a big fan of the MKB in general, and I'm really glad that Burning does it.
TFG is playing very aggressive right now. They actually hex up TFG, and they're trying to get the kill. Echo Slam is going to get dropped. TFG pops a mech, and now vacuum backward against Super Trap. He gets lifted. He does have a Ghost Scepter, but can he make it out there alive? Call down's going to hit on 1 or 2, and here comes Big Bad Burning. And why are we having freaking pauses in the middle of team fight?
I noticed that you and LD both call him Big Bad Burning. Is this like a thing?
Well, he can't be a small Burning.
What about a medium-sized Burning?
Look, we all seen the sizes of Burning.
Wow, this is we're dangerously approaching weird territory.
And he is...
The guy's huge.
He's huge.
All right.
He's fat in every game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Okay, so anyways, MMY, he still has the mech up. ROTK did use the Hex. The Shadow Blade is on cooldown as well. He's rushing forward right now. This fight kind of looks like it's going to go poorly for MUFC, but it does look like everyone should be able to get out. If you notice that Winter's actually stolen Spike Carapace, and I don't know if the flak range... He should be getting out of the flak range pretty soon.
Flak is out.
Yeah.
So
TFG is kind of on the run as well. Han Trash player, nothing to stop him, or FCFC. This has to be a frustrating fight for DK.
yes.
Because they can't really... They've gotten everyone low, but I think the only kill they're going to be able to get is Ling.
Well, Ling's definitely dead. Yeah, for sure. He's gonna maybe have a little bit of time to spend the gold that he wants to spend as well. FC have to pop his magic wand to get out of there, or maybe a bottle charge. But yep, everybody. Well, there is a Nature's Prophet on the map, so he may be able to TP4 and pick up a couple more kills. In fact, it's not, and well, I think maybe even MUFC got the better end of that deal because they could kind of sit back and look at, all right, everybody's going to be fine if you just keep running. We don't need to turn and fight. That's what happened.
That actually benefited MUFC.
Yeah.
Because they realized, oh, well, we're going to lose an Enchantress for Nyx. This actually isn't too bad of a deal. Because we're not going to lose a tower. And Burning uses another BKB charge.
There's no Roshan or anything like that that's happening. So, yeah, it's not too bad. But for me, it was DK getting a little bit of Cisco in that engagement, getting a little bit more XP. These supports are so damn farm. And that Shaker's already working towards a Blink Dagger. I feel that once Shaker gets his Blink, this team fight is going to get so much more difficult for the MUFC team. I think even if Enchantress finishes her Acceptor at that point, it's so easy for DK to close the distance, whether using a Blink Dagger Nyx, whether using a Teleport Cypher Vice from your Prophet, or just a Blink Earthshaker. They could just lock her down and kill her very easily, because she doesn't have anything like a BKB, and she won't have it anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely. And ROTK, he's got 2,100 gold. I'm really curious to see what he gets. Maybe get a BKB on your hero, just because you do only have 1,500 HP, so that's a little bit scary. Or maybe opt to get an item like MKB or Daedalus. His attack speed is actually quite high with the stats that Hex gives you. The 10 agility plus the Tread's attack speed, the Hand of Midas, and the Shadow Blade. It should be decent enough where Daedalus might be a better choice at this point.
I personally feel like maybe a defensive item is a little bit better, because if you look at the way that MUFC fights their team fights, they just want to burst you down, right? They want to start with the wall, vacuum into a Sonic Wave, and then chase you away with things like Weaver or Enchantress, and then hopefully just win the team fight off that one go. And if you pop a BKB, or if you could disengage and then re-engage, they're out of their best spells. And you still have things like Fissure, which is quite spammable. You still have things like Nyx Stuns, very spammable. And then you have, your entire hero in the form of a Gyrocopter, who, have Rocket Barrage and everything else. I think if teamfight goes long enough, DK just outgrinds MUFC. So I think defensive item is the way to go for our TK. But we'll see what he decides to go for.
He is kind of like the least defensive player on his team,
That's
though.
definitely true, though.
RTK is kind of the guy that says, you know what? I'm going to do something crazy this game. Let's mix it up.
To be fair, ROTK has been playing. I feel like ROTK to me is definitely the MVP for the team for the last week or so. The way I've been playing him, especially on his Clockwork or Bat Rider, he's initiating so well for the rest of the team. This game may not be the flashiest player because he's playing Prophet, but I definitely think he's DK's MVP in the last week.
Man,
So.
for me, it's MMY. That guy manages to get a 15-minute mech no matter what the situation
Well,
is.
he's also KS's teammate like rather hard, so
Yeah, but it's such a big advantage if you pick a long lane hero that doesn't get a mech, and your Keeper of the Light is able to always get it before the mid-game teamfights happen.
Yep.
It's just such a greedy way to play, and I love it. It's kind of the way that LGD plays, right? Where they're just like, well, we won't get a mech. Hopefully one of our supports will pick it up because we're doing so well in teamfights.
I mean, to put it in perspective, he had his mech like 5 or 10 minutes before Darkseer had his.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's crazy. Crazy to even think about.
If your support can, and mid, FC.
And he popped his BKB, the Fissure, the Chain Suns. We expected it when the Earthshaker got picked up like this, and we saw it right there, blink Impale into Fissure, and easy pickings.
That should be a T2, and then right after that, a Roshan's going to get taken.
Yep.
What timing by DK? I think that was a really bad idea by FCFC. He had to know the Roshan. That's what they were going to posture for.
Oh, but the buyback's right there. RTK trying to make those big plays. I just talked about him being the MVP. The call down, not going to really follow through. And Burning popping his own BKB. Zaka right click against FCFC. The BKBs are out. Are they going to keep chasing FC? Blinks back in, vacuums backwards. Can they get anything done? QQQ walking and trying to get the Echoslav. And Fissure's going to get a Huntrash play kill. He's dropping low. Magic Wand, Mono Burn. Oh my god, they barely got him. FC's on the chase. Force Staff is going to TP out just fine. Here comes Super Impale. Are they going to have any more Mono Burn action? Link's trying to get the kill. He's going to TP out as well. Lift. Oh my god. Impetus. Maximum damage is only like 4,000 or no 2,000. He's going to be absolutely fine. Oh, is this 2,000? Can you get him?
He should be fine here. I can't imagine him dying.
He could even blink to Disjointus if he wants.
The thing there is, I think the Queen of Pain wasted a hit. Otherwise, they should have been able to get that kill. I think. Did you see her stop? I think she got hesitant. She was like, "Oh well, is anything gonna happen?" And then nothing was able to happen there. They do manage to pick off Burning though. That was actually quite a decent fight for MUFC, just because ROTK decided, here's the time.
Here's the time to make some big plays.
The game has been too safe.
And actually, the previous team fight, remember the one that was paused over here in the mid game, where they traded a Enchantress for a Nyx Assassin. That team fight was ROTK teleporting in the middle of 3 and initiating, and it worked out okay there because they traded 1 for 1. But he's like, guys,
that one was a little. He's like, it's too quiet right now. I'm going insane. We can't do this. A fight has to happen.
And that was a big deal, right? We're kind of laughing a little bit on ROTK, but you were saying if you get a Queen of Pain pick off there, if you don't make those dives, it was a tier 2 tower and then a Roshan. It was absolutely free. But Queen of Pain had buyback. He bought back, and look at ROTK says, big play, part 3. He's going for it right now. He does go Winter, and he's going to get Winter here. So maybe not so bad. And then now they should go into the Roshan pit.
I love watching this guy play. His entire team plays so safe and steady, and ROTK is like, you know what? Now's the time.
Yeah, you got to have him, right? I mean, it's like Beyond the Summit. You got like 5 guys fooling around, and then you got LD trying to make sure everybody's working. And like DK's the complete opposite of that. So,
wow, this guy, it's actually just, it's the funniest thing in the world to watch him play.
Yeah.
Just because you never know. He's
like, he picks up a demon at you. You're like, oh shit, what are you doing, ROTK? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope you're going MKB, but we never know if you are.
The best thing right now for my team would be a Divine.
But here we go, ROTK. He's trying to rush it. He might need BKB. BKB's going to get popped and burning right now. He's focusing on TFG. Oh my god, TFG just whiffed that team fight. But here comes Contract player. Does have his 10-second BKB. But look at MMY. He's forcing. He's got the mech. Pop your mech, my man. He's just juking. He's got that horse. The horse just breaking everybody's ankles right now. ROTK trying to catch up on somebody. They do get 1 more kill. And 5 strong is DK. But this wall is awkwardly trying to blocking them out. They're going to walk back into the pit. And I think they're going to get this Aegis for free because, well, everybody's dead on MUFC.
Dude, I told you, MMY. What a
player.
I mean, we use that term so often, but that's the best possible term for it. He has 2,800 gold on a Keeper of the Light with Arcane Boots, a mech, a 4-staff, 2,600 gold.
He's going Hex, isn't he?
I mean, that's about as good as you can get. Yeah, he's going to get a Hex. He's going to start going for a Hex here, too.
Yep.
I mean, that's the most farmed support I've seen in a game with a guy like DK Burning.
Yeah, well, he ain't stealing Burning's farm, I could tell you that, because Burning's definitely got some farm as well. Oh, Burning getting a little bit tank out with Huntrash player. Huntrash player says, I'll re-engage with my time lapse. Here comes RTK, man. RTK is always there. QQQ trying to get that echo, trying to get that enchant. Winter down to about half HP. I'm not sure what QQQ signed up for. Maybe he got juked out by RTK a little bit. He's like, man, RTK, I'm coming in. Burning's got to be careful as well as BKB. Still good to go. He also has Satanic finish, so. But in that previous team fight, I think the reason they have lost it so badly was TFG. TFG getting initiated upon right now. He's going to get called down and bursting out one more time. Super dropping low. He's going to be fine. Huntrash player dropping even lower. He's going to get burst down by the flak. Burning just got himself like a triple kill just standing there.
He actually got an ultra kill right now, denying his teammate as well.
Well, that's where it counts, yeah.
In basketball, turnovers count as a stat, man, so
there you go.
really good deny off by Burning as well. Just kind of at this point maximizing his advantage. I really like the Satanic choice as well. You don't really need any more damage at this point, just because everyone is so low in terms of HP. I mean, you know, it's a team game and you hate to place the blame on any one player, but if TFG was able to get a good wall off at the Roshan fight, that should have gone a lot better. But he was actually, he hit 0 heroes there.
Yeah, he was hitting some good, you know, 2-3 man wall previously, but now it's not enough. And now Huntrash player trying to kill MMY. MMY, look, he's already broken some angles. He's already trying to GG more, but in the rest of the time, they're going to focus on the racks, Reman Sonic Wave, and big Queen of Pain Ultimate, trying to get something done to defend the racks. In fact, I think they will defend. Nice couple of kills here. Burning might even drop. Satanic's on cooldown. Aegis forced to be pop, but he's going to be popping Aegis
Burning
without
is so
BKB.
dead.
Yeah, he's dead for sure, and there's no way he's going to kill anybody. He's going to try. Fissure's going to help a little bit, but not going to be enough. Is Shaker going to make it out? Yeah, he does have his Blink Dagger. He's going to be okay now.
Yeah, and they're actually going to pick up the gem again. That was a fantastic fight.
Yeah, they was forced to use a buyback on Huntrash Pro, so he's not, you know, getting a next tier of item. He's forced to use a couple of BKB charges, but at this point, that team fight gave FZFZ literally his life advice, because he's going to farm it after a couple more waves, definitely before the next team fight. So it's not that bad. I mean, I want to say DK is definitely winning this game, or not winning, having the big advantage in this game, close to even almost 20,000 gold. But I still feel like MUFC could win this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Weaver just does so much damage at this point, and the heroes in general are kind of better for MUFC for a situation like this. Weaver's one of those heroes that it's hard to get into the late game with, but once you do, if you're in a situation where you can kind of abuse the Sakuchi, it gets so hard to kill him, and he does so much damage that you can just kind of get support heroes for free. And if you just get him a little bit of tank, it's really, really difficult for him to kill him. Oh, and a top.
Yeah, we're going to see a lift coming out on... Oh my god, QQQ. Oh, just blinking back out. What a play.
I think if Winter had been able to just kind of get the Fade Bolt off there, that
in the middle of the lift, and then Winter is TPing back out on the top lane. You can see a Super looking for some kills. He's blinking forward. Oh, he gets Scythe as a return here by FZ, and they gotta focus him nicely down backward. Gets forced back out here. Blink Ankle Slam from QQQ. That's on 3. Enchant Totem. Where is it? No enchant just yet, and Time Lapse gonna get used. And here comes the recall. Not gonna find anybody. Is ROTK gonna make some huge plays? Backstabbing forward with a TP.
Ling's out of mana now.
Uh-oh. There's a... Blink enchant. I think
everyone's so slow.
Nobody's actually focusing him. They want FZ instead. They are gonna get him. And meanwhile, Super blinking off some cliff. This team fight is just so all over the place. Vision gonna get stolen by Winter, and earn on earn action. Link's gonna survive, but barely though. And here comes Huntrash Pro. It's gonna do some work, but unfortunately, BKB doesn't really protect you from physical damage, so he's gotta back off.
Yeah, and actually, these are good engagements for MUFC. Once again, the later the game gets with a hero like Weaver, the better it's gonna be for them. They don't have too much disable. I mean, they have the Fissure and they have the Nick stun, but that just opens up the game for FZFC. Oh yeah, they do have Hex as well, but
that's kind of the big thing.
I mean, he still has a lot of... actually, he's just going to get full shot.
I don't know.
Well, as I say that, ROTK, Shadowblade's in, gets the pick off. Yep. This guy is... He's almost 6 stacked at 40 minutes, doing quite well for himself. It's like a fake 6 stack because he's got a Ring of Bassi.
Right, but you know, it's an item there. Meanwhile, back in the middle lane here, call down back on a couple of people. The 2 supports getting blown the hell up. TFG, another casualty of the war. It feels like a Crystal Maiden now. You just get him every time you pick a team fight, and that was the last thing. I mean, they were winning some team fights. I don't think it was ready to call GG yet, because I still feel that this game could go late enough. But the gold, 20,000 gold lead to seal the deal for DK.
Yeah, that was just a little scary. I don't think he should have been that far out, the Weaver, knowing that the team was kind of pushing in and pressuring. I think he was just trying to take a farming risk. You know, one of those things where we're kind of behind. I have to kind of go out. And
I have to
take
take bigger risks to come back in this
And you
game.
have to. In a situation like that, when you're that far behind 20k gold, you have to kind of find a way to get some sort of traction back.
Right.
And the best way to do it is you have to take some sort of farming risks. That's the best way around it.
The most unfortunate thing was he was using a medallion on a creep, and that was when they initiated on him, so he had -6 on him.
He might have been able to get out if not for that, just like with the time lapse and everything, but due to that, just a little bit scary. I mean, it kind of sucks that the game just kind of had to end anticlimactically like that, but
yeah, it was a pretty good game. All the team fights are kind of back and forth, and we still see the remnants of a big team fight going on in the jungle, or in the fountain. Double kill, now triple kill for Han Trash player. Echo, Enchant, Fissure, trying to get something done. Where was the last hit on that? Here comes ROTK doing what a player plays.
What a player plays. Say that 5 times fast.
I can't even say it 1 time fast, but this game ends somewhat anticlimactically at 31 versus 31. DK to me played better throughout this game, though.
Yeah, DK. I mean, they were getting kind of outplayed early. The start was 6-1, and then after that, it kind of just snowballed in the favor of DK. I mean,
Yeah.
MUFC, they had really good smoke ganks. That's something that you don't actually see DK do quite often. They just kind of play this passive style where they try to get their supports as much farm as possible, and then from there, you know, try to snowball into the mid game behind Burning's. Hopefully, he has good farm.
Yep. He didn't actually have good farm that game. In fact, he was shut. Remember the
Yeah,
two
exactly.
smoke ganks that went really well for them?
It was really smart too. When they timed it out, they waited for Burning to use his phase boots forward,
Yeah.
and then they were like, "Oh, the phase boots are down. There's
Let's
no way
go."
he can get away." Yeah.
And for me, there was a mid-team fight that decided the game where they were chasing for Earthshaker. Burning came in with the 4-man call down. Sure, Burning died there, but it was the rest of the team, especially ROTK, that benefited. And throughout the rest of the mid to late game, TFG just got focused nonstop, and
Yeah.
you
That
can't
was
win a
actually
team fight without a wall vacuum.
if that hadn't happened, that fight mid hadn't happened, that very well could have been an MUFC game because they were so far ahead in terms of they were team fighting better, they were ganking better, and then they got 4-man call down flak, rocket barrage, and then Burning got another rocket barrage off, and Queen of Pain was like, she had her BKB, but it just came a little bit too late, and that kind of just spelled the doom. DK's not a team where you can take fights like that just because Burning will punish you.
Yeah. All these tiny dings will end up in a DK victory here, as they have earned 2 points. But let's send it back to the analyst table and see what they think.
DK off to a strong start here in Group A.
Yeah.
They're now 4-0. 2 of those wins, of course, being forfeit wins over LGDN. But hey, a win's a win's a win.
That's true.
4-0.
Yeah, it was a really fun game to watch. I thought MUFC really did a great job controlling the pace in the early game. Their smoke ganks were really good. I especially loved when they went top and they ganked Burning, and then they followed him right back bottom, used another smoke to kill him twice in a row. That was so cool. Securing those kills gave him a great position. They were 6-1. And then they had that misstep mid where they went a little too far forward. Burning was able to grab the 4-man call down, and then everything turned around and it started becoming DK's game back again.
It's one of the reasons I think why we see DK has really been favoring Gyrocopter for Burning, because it's one of the few carries that can have a huge impact early game, but also goes really late. I mean, you got a Gyrocopter, you can go for early BKB, you can go for Shadow Blade. He showed in Game 1 he's willing to diversify his builds and kind of adjust them from the skill build. Game 1 doesn't level up the Rocket Barrage. In Game 2 he maxes it, and in Game 1 gets a Shadow Blade because there was almost no lockdown on the MUFC side. In Game 2 there was a lot of disables, a lot of nukes. Gets the BKB, so I really thought Burning I think the hero really suits him and it suits DK, and in the past, we've seen them try and kind of ramrod this anti-mage pick into situations where it just doesn't work. They'll try and force even maybe a hero like a Faceless Void into the fray, and now they're finding that they can play Gyro for him, and it opens the game up so much because he can do a lot more on his own.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Weaver pick a little bit, though. He obviously had huge advantage, and he had that one death where he dove too far, which is a very obvious mistake. But do you feel his item progression was correct? Because there were really good disables coming out of DK. They had the Nyx Assassin and they had the Earthshaker Fissure. That was about it. But even still, those together That's talking like 3 to 4 seconds of stun. Do you think that he should have gone more tanky after the Desolator, or?
I felt like they needed more damage because you're up against a BKB gyrocopter. You can't really count on Queen of Pain to do a whole lot, and then most of your damage is at that point coming from the Weaver. You have an Enchantress, but Impetus isn't effective in that situation, so I actually thought they kind of needed something like a Desolator. I mean, maybe you can go for an MKB instead. Desolator's a little bit easier to build, so I didn't really mind the item progression. I think it's more just it was hard for them to fight. I think it goes back to what you said and what Blitz and Lumi talked about, just that one big fight mid. They clumped up, they overextended, and you just can't do that against the gyrocopter. You do that once, especially when DK's on the dire side, they punish you. And the other thing I liked from DK was, I mentioned some of the adjustments Bernie made, but RTK, going for more of a late game-oriented Prophet, I wouldn't say his decision-making was the best. Classic RTK, suicide bombing into the enemy team, but I liked how he went for more of a late game build, getting you know the split pushing items like the Shadow Blade and the Hand of Midas there, and then going for the Scythe of Ice. I thought it was a nice adjustment from what you see from a lot of the other Chinese prophets, which is the mech, the more early team fight involvement builds. But
it's great against Weaver as well. They were lacking disables. Then once he gets Sheepstick on top of Nyx Assassin with a Blink Dagger, it's like easiest kills ever. That was definitely Lumi's back on camera. If you guys are curious,
that was like the laziest attempt to stay off camera too.
He was so good, and then he got really lazy at the end. He's like, I'm standing up.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for our first set of the day. We do have 2 best of 2s coming your way, so we've already completed one. We'll take a quick break. Today is going to be a DK doubleheader, so we have about a slightly less than a 2-hour break. We're actually going to play a VOD from yesterday, so if you missed some of the day 1 action, we'll have some of that for you coming up next, but we will come back at, I believe it's 22 SGT, which is in slightly under 2 hours, and we'll be live with our second DK match of the evening. That'll be DK versus LGD China, the match that could very well decide Group A. We'll have to see how it turns out, but for now, the story for today, DK 4-0 to start the Group A action. We'll take a break, we'll come back, and it'll be DK versus MUFC. Or versus